Jump racing coming back to Windsor is obviously a positive, and especially with the intention of running the Winter Millions, that much prize money later on in the season, it has to be aimed at, and we've taken a good aim at it with a few. I remember going there when I worked for Paul when they were redoing Ascot, so I have a little bit of a memory of it. But I have to say that didn't count for a lot when we went there because I couldn't really remember. But the jockeys have had a chance to ride around there in December. And what's more, I always had some negatives about it being at Lingfield, not because I don't love Lingfield. I think it's a great jumps track. It's just Lingfield in January, 50% of the time you're going to be off. So having it at Windsor is a great move by the executives. I think it just gives us a better chance of making sure it's on, and we'll support it as much as we can.
Yeah, I enjoyed riding around there. A bit different. It's just a bit unique, really, with two sort of dog legs, one right-handed, leaving the back straight, and then you sweep round the home bend, if you like, another dog leg before you turn into the straight. But yeah, the fences rode well. I rode over hurdles as well, and nice track to ride around. The ground was quite soft, and enjoyed being back there. I never rode there previously, but certainly a track I'm looking forward to going back to. We've got plenty of runners down there at Windsor. Knickerbocker Glory goes in a 2-mile handicap hurdle, unexpected party. There's plenty there, plenty of good chances, and looking forward to running them.
I think Honky Tonk Highway will go well. There's a collection of races she could run in, but I think she'll go very well. Obviously, she won a listed novices hurdle at Sandown last time out. I'd give her a big chance wherever she went. She will definitely stay. She'll definitely stay 2.5. She'll probably stay 3. I think you could find there's an improvement. So I'm pretty positive about her chances. Which race we go in, I'm not entirely sure just yet, but yeah, I'd be pretty confident. She's had a good break since that last run as well. She's always been obviously a good horse. We debuted her in a listed bumper and she won. The only time I suppose she's run ordinary is when we ran her at Aintree in the mare's bumper there at the festival. But to be honest with you, that track on that decent ground over 2 miles just wouldn't be her cup of tea whatsoever. Definie Silence will run at the meeting. He's in on the Friday. He's also going to be in on the Sunday in the rearranged Hampton Novices Chase. A bit frustrating that that's been put on this late in the day, because it just means that those horses that are entered on the Friday, you don't know the entries for the Sunday before you've got to declare. So that's just making things a little difficult, but he's definitely going to run. I think the flat track will really suit him. Soft ground is right up his street, and obviously 3 miles is a positive for him as well. So I'd have to give him a chance. I couldn't call him a certainty, but I think he goes there as a player. Panic Attack she's obviously a talented mare. We've obviously got her quite late in her career, but she's had 2 good runs over hurdles for us. I think stepping back up to fences is a positive. I think the step up in trip is a positive. The handicapper's dropped a few pound. I think it's all perhaps coming together quite neatly for her. I think she's a real player in the mare's 2.5 mile handicap. Sakur has been a great mare. I forget how many she's won for us now, but maybe 7. She won a chunk of prize money last year. She's doing well this year. She's won. I just think she's going to struggle. I think the handicapper massively overreacted to her win this year. I think she's going to struggle. We'll take £7 off with young Harry Atkins. But yeah, I think the handicapper has her in a vice-like grip. I couldn't see her winning this, just because of that, really.
And she pulled up at Hereford last time. Did anything come to light with that?
No, handicapper's got away too high. He needs to drop her. He knows where she can win. But she's a prolific mare. She wins a lot. She wins small runner races, small field races, because that's what we target. But we do get hammered by the handicapper sometimes for doing that. But yeah, she's just way too high. Langadan is he's his own mind at Langadan. He's a difficult horse to train in the winter. Everyone can see that. Everyone presumed that there was only one target all year. For the last 2 seasons, that's been the Coral Cup. But as you can see, it's not as easy as everybody's making it sound, or pointing towards that that's the case. But I just feel that he is coming together. It is slowly happening. I think he'll run better than he has on his first 2 starts of the year, but I still think we're a long way off winning. He's a very hard horse in the winter for whatever reason. He just will not get going. He's difficult at home. Not difficult, won't go on the gallops. He's always going on the gallops. He wants to go out there and do it all, but he just finds it hard. For whatever reason, I have no idea.
And will this be a sort of stepping stone to Cheltenham in March?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like, he obviously turns up at Cheltenham every year and runs really well. We want to aim for the Stayers Hurdle this year, but like, we just got to take it on trust. Like last year, we turned up and just trusted him in the Coral Cup. He bled on his run before. You know, I know it sounds like I'm painting a negative picture, but I've tried to be honest with everybody the whole way through this horse's career. Most people have chosen not to believe me, but I think you can see that actually I wasn't talking nonsense, and he is pretty difficult. Iberico Lord's been a great horse for us. Loves soft conditions, and this is obviously a very valuable race, the Sovereign. Whether the handicapper just got him now, I don't know, but you know, it was a good race that he won at Sandown, made all the running in pretty atrocious ground. So, you know, the handicapper bumps you up and you have to take your medicine. I hope he can be competitive. He's got a good break between his races, which he needs. It's the obvious race to go for. I hope he's a player. You know, I really do hope he's a player. There's no real negatives. I mean, if it rained and rained and rained, it would only become more of a positive for him. But that's not on the forecast. So we just got to live with what we got, and I think he'll run well.
How key do you think the ground is to him? I mean, obviously,
well, when you talk about him dominating and him just being better than the others on the day, the worse the ground, the better his chance. But you know, it's going to be soft, harder work ground. It's not just going to be like spring good to soft, and that doesn't give him a chance. You know, it's going to be hard work. But you know, make no mistakes, the worse the ground, the better his chance. Harpers Brook won last time out for us under a pretty cool ride from Keelan. At Weatherby, he's pretty renowned for all of his tricks and all the bits and pieces that he can do. But I think that happens because I think 2 miles is a perfect trip for him. Number one, I think when you stretch him too much further, I think stamina becomes an issue. But I think there's a couple of other things going on that leads him to do that. So actually, I don't think it's necessarily a question in his attitude. I think we got the key to him the last day at Weatherby. We'll try and ride him similarly, you know, round a different track. Will that be as effective? I don't know. But you know, it's 50 grand. It's worth a go. He's in good form.
And obviously joined the yard from Ben Pauling in the summer. Did it take them a while to sort of bed in, or?
Well, him, we, you know, there was a lot of question marks over sort of like what his trip is, and should we try a big trip one day and everything else. And you know, just a couple of runs just helped us understand him, understand what he wanted, and I think we're happy with, we know what he wants, and we know how to ride him, and we also know what not to do. But what we can't control is the tempo of the race and how the races are formed out there on the track. You know, we can't control that. And some days, with all horses, you'll find that the way the race is run or the way the race happens in front of your eyes suits some, doesn't suit others. So, you know, we'll just be in the lap of them gods. But he's in good form. Gwenny Boy is in good form. He had a later start to his autumn than we hoped, not because there was anything wrong, just because of the ground. So it just kind of and then he fell at Haydock. It just kind of feels like we haven't really got going this year, but that doesn't really worry me because he didn't get going until later on last year and won his only 3 starts for us, including at Aintree. So I think this is the perfect type of race for him. Softer ground, 3 miles, flat track. Don't really have a lot of negatives. He's had a good run there the last day up at Carlisle after falling, so confidence should be high. I think there's a little bit left in his mark, so we'll get on, give it a go and see. Unexpected Party, obviously won at the Cheltenham Festival last year. The handicapper, give him a good hike for that. I think he's been battling the handicapper ever since, to be honest with you. We have run him in some conditions races, but he ran up at Carlisle when he was wrong, when he was superior at the weights and got well beat. Handicapper didn't really respond quickly enough, in my opinion, but yeah, I think we're just struggling against the handicapper, to be honest with you. I think he'll probably run here. He is also entered at Ascot, but I think he'll probably run here. He's getting on a bit now as well, so we'll never forget what he did, but it's becoming harder to repeat with the handicapper not relenting. Protektorat's in really good form. We've always been coming here. Obviously, he was second in the race last year when it was run at Lingfield. He's had a couple of runs this year as well, which is good. He loves to run. He loves to be out a bit more. We've trained him for this. How he handles Windsor, we'll see.
What have you made of his 2 runs so far this season?
It wasn't soft enough, and he needed the run at Cheltenham in the Paddy Power, and it was a disaster going right-handed at Huntingdon. But we were always going to have to try going right-handed one day, and it just didn't work out. Harry got in a row with him the whole way round and couldn't let him attack his jumps. But it's very, very different left-handed for him. I know there's that right-handed kink, but that's not going to make any difference. There's a right-handed kink at Haydock, and he's won a Betfair, so I'm not worried about that. He's in good form, yeah. His first 2 runs of the season haven't been anything like his winning run in the Ryanair, but the Ryanair was at the end of the season last year. His runs, if you look last year, his runs got better and better and better. Probably starting, he had a good run at Christmas time last year at Cheltenham in a handicap, but probably his first really good run was in the Fleur de Lis. So yeah, we're positive. Great Fleet is a pretty nice young horse. Obviously, he's won his only bumper. Wouldn't do a great deal in front and just sort of grinds out a race. So I think a fast run race would really suit him. How that transpires on the day here, we don't know. But I had a mare entered in there as well, Supreme Melanas. I think she she wants it really, really soft. So it was kind of a choice between the 2. But we had it sort of covered on either ground. He'd like the slightly better ground, I think. Yeah, he won quite comfortable in the end up at Market Raise and done loads of work. We've always had him come in here, so we've trained him for it. He'd have a chance for sure.